So today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today I want to talk about why an iPad is the perfect sidekick for retro handheld gaming consoles such as any of the Anbernic devices or the AYN Thor. Now, my thing is I've always been an iPad freak. I have had every iPad since iPad 2 in 2012. It's probably been my most used device, and there's many times that I have been where I go, oh, I want to get this iPad, I want to get that iPad. However, when I started entering the video game retro handheld scene, it never really occurred to me how well these work together. And the reason that they work together is just because how they are both very, portable devices. And my thing is this could work with an iPad mini, this could work with an iPad Air, an iPad Pro. Any type of iPad works with what I'm about to show you guys. And just to kind of show you this whole process, if you had nothing but a retro handheld device and an iPad, you could probably make that your main content creation setup. Because each iPad obviously has a camera, has a microphone, and you, with the right accessories, you could pretty much connect this to this display. You can live stream from an iPad to you can live stream gameplay from these devices to an iPad. And you can even, go places, take this into your bag. It's a perfect companion. I mean, a lot of times that I see videos where people are taking their Steam Decks, their Nintendo Switches, and I see them do this, they're usually holding it in, say, like a coffee shop or sitting out in the sun and just playing the games. And while you can record gameplay off of those devices, having something dedicated to handle all of your work is a pretty cool thing to consider. So what I have here that I just wanted to kind of show you guys is how to make these all kind of work together. So I have my Anbernic RG34 XSP right here. I have my Thor. And right here, I have a Shadowcast Genki 2 capture card. Now, any capture card works, especially if you're looking to try and connect your device to, multiple displays. But what I love about the Genki Shadowcast is that it's plug and play, and it actually works with just plugging into any side of, HDMI thing. Now, if you have an Anbernic device, I've shown this in a previous video, is you'll notice how the Anbernic has a HDMI, micro HDMI slot. So what you would typically do in this case is with the right accessories, you can plug this thing into this little thing. I will leave links in the descriptions on where to get these products, but a micro SD card can go right into your Anbernic device, and essentially you can take this and then plug it into the display of your iPad. Have your typical cable right here, and then another accessory that I really like is the SanDisk terabyte SD or an external SSDs. And what I love about this is you can store a lot of stuff on here. You can do music, movies, your different games, and just pretty much have this as kind of like a place to keep all your backups while also transferring back and forth between the SD cards. So to kind of just show you guys what I will typically do whenever I record gameplay videos, and say I pretend I'm at a coffee shop and I'm with an iPad Pro, but typically if I ever wanted to just record my gameplay without actually having to have a huge setup, I would just pretty much connect this and then launch one of the two apps that I typically use. So the two apps that I typically use when I capture gameplay or any type of live streaming is the Genki app, which is going to be, let me search it up, Genki. The Genki Studio app right here. And with this particular app, if I just want to record a quick video game session, I can pretty much just have it plugged right there, and then play my games, record my gameplay and then use my iPad as the primary display. You know, record this and record that. You know, you get the gist. Now, say you have something like an AYN Thor, where the AYN Thor has a USB-C cable instead of the so-called, HDMI. That is where I would take this capture card, and I would plug this capture card into a dongle, which you can buy online. There's typical dongles. I have to kind of show you guys that real fast. And here is one of my HDMI adapter dongle things. Like, pretty much any of these dongles work. I mean, the reason I'm showing all these off is chances are, if you have a device like an iPad, you also have many of these different type of dongles. But, yeah, I would just, plug this in here. I'll actually take this off, plug this into here, and then I would take this, plug it into my AYN Thor on the bottom, and then pretty much the same process that goes here. The AYN Thor, I haven't quite figured out how to display the AYN Thor's screen for the bottom display yet, but I definitely want to do a video if I could figure that out. But what I love about the AYN Thor specifically is you can keep the screen on and play on the screen while this is just your actual display. Meaning, unlike other devices like the Nintendo Switch 2 and this Anbernic device, the display for the game console always is off. And sometimes you may not just want that. Maybe you just want to have this be the secondary display, capturing and recording your gameplay while you're using this device and just kind of playing their games kind of either in bed or somewhat away from the device. But that is just one of the that's just one of the apps that I use. One of the other big apps that I use quite frequently when I am live streaming is this app called Camo Studio. So Camo Studio is a free app that you basically can live stream. Think of like OBS if it was made for a Apple, an iOS device. What I love about it is entirely for free, and really you can pretty much capture your gameplay on here. Or if you are using a external capture card, you can also select your external capture card and then capture your display that way. And you might notice that I have like my webcam up here. So if you place this device somewhere, say where you're capturing both your gameplay and your face, you can actually do both. Now, what I love about this is, say you don't want to use the webcam on the iPad to capture your gameplay. If you have another device by Apple called the iPhone, you can use your iPhone as a secondary camera and then capture your iPhone as your webcam with all your microphone settings, and then your gameplay for your AYN Thor or your other handheld tablet device. But pretty much from my own perspective and the way that I use my devices in tandem with each other, I fell in love with this setup because I'm very much a mobile kind of gamer for the most part. And I don't know, I never really liked the idea of playing games on a bulky laptop or being confined to one particular space if I, don't have to be. I'm always looking for different ways on capturing, gameplay. And if you guys recognize this game, leave it in the comments section below, because this is an old game for the Game Boy Advance. If you guys can guess it, yeah, you guys know exactly which one I'm talking about. But that's pretty much it. I don't really know what else to say, except that I know that there are a lot of channels out there that solely focus on using your iPad as your only computer. And pretty much, if you are somebody that likes to do that, I thought that this would apply to you. However, Obviously, nothing quite beats the experience of a full MacBook or a full laptop, but some days you don't want to carry all that crap. Some days you want to keep it pretty minimalist, and this is a pretty minimalist setup, especially if you want to live stream gameplay and you just want it to be easy, effective, and then use this device to capture all your gameplay, capture your stuff, and yeah. Well, my cat likes to get in the way, so I think this is a good ending point, but if you guys have any questions, leave it on the comment section below, and I will answer the questions. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.